Listen, you guys, before we begin this segment as well, we want to let you know the power has been with you all along. For those that are getting ready to listen to this segment and you have not experienced it, it is still something good for you to listen to, because I'm assure you that there are people around you that are afraid to tell you of their experience because of the stigma that's placed on this topic.
That's right.
And listen, you guys, if you have any other questions or concerns, hit us in the comment section. Also, hit the subscribe button, because this will just be part one of this segment.
That's right.
Hit the bell button so that when we get ready to hit another version of part two, you'll be notified.
Right.
Hey, you guys, let's dive deep into this one. Woo! The power has been with you all along. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trey Michael.
And this is Starla Michael.
And today, we are going to talk about the topic that I've been waiting so long to touch on. And that topic is called gang stalking. You guys, on our spiritual awakening journey, many people like us have went through what we call the dark night of the soul. On our experience of the dark night of the soul, one of the things that came to us was gang stalking. You guys, before we begin this, we just go ahead and clear the air up. We know there's three types of people on this topic of gang stalking. One is the people who have no earthly idea what we're talking about right now. For you guys, pay attention so that you can understand the experience that others are going through when they tell you that they're being gang stalked.
Right.
The second group of people that we're going to be addressing today are the people who call your family members crazy.
Right.
And then the third group of people are the people who were experiencing this gang stalking, or probably are still experiencing it today. We want to start with this to clear the airways. You are not crazy. Hey, you guys, let's dive deep into this one.
I know that you know, just like we know, that nothing outside of us has control over us. But I just want to let you know that gang stalking, it comes to people because they attract it. It's something inside of them that is attracting gang stalking, systematic gang stalking. And it's going to help you to pull that out of you, or make you aware of something that's inside of you. That's what it does for us deep divers.
You guys, listen, we want to explain this, and it's taken us a very long time to be able to make this video, because we understand how the perception of those who have not experienced gang stalking may view it. But you know, this is about to be 2020, you guys. The 1212 portals open up, and we're ready to open up and deep dive within ourselves.
Age of disclosure.
Age of disclosure. So one of the things, I love how you put that, it's the age of disclosure.
That's right.
I refuse to live in this reality knowing that inside of me I had the key to unlock the door to those that might be experiencing what we call gang stalking. You guys, gang stalking began to me on my spiritual awakening journey. I began to become aware of the veil of illusions. I began to see through the veil and see the truth for what it was. Now, because of court documents, which I can't disclose, I was what they call a targeted individual. Now, for all of you people that are still experiencing gang stalking, did you hear what I just said? It's the word that you were looking for on YouTube every day. I was a targeted individual.
That's right.
Because before I start this off and get deep into it, I want to get a little cocky real quick. You know, see, those that gang stalk, those organizations, those corporations, those beings that play those games, these two people here, they don't want to play with us. Because at the end of this segment, we're going to give you the keys to how you defeat and put the death blow to gang stalking and to end your dark night of the soul.
That's right.
You guys, on our journey, we were going through a legal lawsuit against a corporation. And I was also at the same time going through my spiritual awakening journey.
Waking up. That's right.
I know what it feels like to be systematically stalked. That means everywhere that you go, if you go into a grocery store and you pick up a can of soup, they're gonna grab the same can of soup. When you grab a pack of noodles, they grab the same pack of noodles, meet you at the register, leave from the register, meet you at the car, and smile and give you a signal that only you and them understand. And I understand how it feels going through this perception of your reality, to tell your family members, to tell your mother, to tell your father, to tell your brother, to tell your sisters, to tell your siblings, my wife, I mean not siblings, your loved ones, your spouse. I told my wife it for a year. She didn't believe me until the experience came to her.
That's right.
You guys, I want to start off saying this to you guys as well. If you're saying, I'm not sure if those guys really went through gang stalking. No, it's because we put the spanking to it. See, we dove into ourselves until we realized that we were infinite beings and we don't play those games. Listen, you guys, if you're being gang stalked right now, it's because inside of you there's things that needs to be worked on.
Need to be dealt with.
Some people go through the dark night of the soul, and what they experience is having to overcome drug addiction. So the addiction manifests itself in the physical form, which means the drug is actually a real substance that they're taking, right? But they're manifesting that drug that they're taking that puts them in this repetitive cycle of having to go through their misery.
That's right.
Gang stalking, unlike what others might say, because if you Google the word gang stalking, they'll say it's a mental thing that people are experiencing.
It's not.
When it's not. It's higher level beings, and when I'm saying beings, remember, you're not just a human, but you are a being. There are things outside the realm of your understanding, okay? And they're regular physical people. So these people, when they're experiencing gang stalking, they're not having delusions. No. It's not a schizophrenic episode that these people are having.
Because that's the first thing that we thought. Yeah. Is it mental?
Is this mental? Do I need to go to the doctor?
This cannot be real.
Correct.
That's what we were thinking.
And on our journey, we tried everything to beat it except for diving inside of ourselves. Right. So yes, I know what you're going through. You got the camcorders out, you're recording. You've called the cops like we did. How many police reports did we have?
Like six.
Six or seven police reports.
We've even called some help.
We even called the who?
The FBI. Trying to get some help.
The FBI to attempt to get help. We know, I know, if you get on YouTube, they only want to pander to you fear. Yeah. False evidence appearing real, that you can't win. You know, the fear that, hey, you're going to live your entire existence in misery. Because what it's attempting to do is to take you to a higher level within yourself. And the only way to get there, sometimes the universe uses tactics like gang stalking to force you to level up and to be your authentic self.
That's right.
You guys, before I get deeper into the topic, because this is just going to be part one of the series that we're calling Gang Stalking.
It's a lot. Because
it's a lot. I can't pack in 3 years of an experience, me or my wife, into this one segment. But I want to go ahead and give you what you've been looking for. On my experience, on my journey, the first portion of me listening to my higher self, I was being gang stalked going to Alabama. And on the way to Alabama, we were going to see, I believe it was my wife's family.
That's right.
And you know, everybody call us the kooky people.
Crazy.
We were crazy. Yeah, these guys are crazy. We know, trust me, it's okay.
We had cameras everywhere.
Yeah. Trust me, this too shall pass.
Yes.
The first time that it happened, I kept asking out to my higher self, how can I defeat him? How can I beat this? How can I stop it? And of course, you know, going through your dark night of the soul, your ego rejects what the spirit's telling you because it knows so much, you know. I can beat them up. Dude, I've punched a couple of those people. I've done wild and crazy, extreme things, and none of it worked. And the first time that I listened to my higher self, or I listened to my soul, I remember going to Alabama. We stopped in like Midland, Georgia, and the guy, he parked beside us after shining his bright lights. You know the tactics, honking the horn, making sure you know, hey, I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay. He walks into the store, and then I smoked black and mild. So he made sure he ordered the same amount of blacks. I grabbed some food items. He grabbed the same exact food items, and then he cut in front of me in front of the register to let me know, hey, we're here. We're gonna harass you till the day you die. That's the perception that we felt at that time.
Right.
And for the first time, the universe yielded to me what needed to be done to defeat this within inside of myself, or as you're perceiving it outside of yourself. And the guy swiped his card, because I always noticed that they had prepaid cards with a little strip on them. And so I'm guessing that was the way that they covered up who these people were, so that they wouldn't label who's following you, which we'll dive deeper into that for a later segment. And the guy swiped the card and he had his son with him. And as he's swiping the card, he's turning backwards towards me, smiling, intimidating me or attempting to persuade me to act out of character. And I remember the lady at the register saying, "Hey, your card's been declined." He's, "Oh, no, it's money on that." He looks back at me again to smirk and smile. And 3 or 4 or 5 times he continued to swipe that card and nothing happened. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At that present moment, my ego, which is edging God out, edging out source, edging out my authentic self, it wanted to smile and laugh and say, "That's what you get." Because I was experiencing misery and suffering to my wife, my family, and my children. And I wanted so badly to let him experience just a piece of what I'm experiencing. The shame of swiping that card. And I heard my higher self as clear as day say, "Trey, go into your pocket and pay for that man's gas," because he purchased gas like I did, "and pay for all those items which he picked up just to mock me and my family." And you guys, I know you probably are like, "I'm not gonna do that," and that's why we continued on our journey for so long. I listened to my higher self, and I pulled my wallet out, and I paid for this man's gas. Now, this is the part that's gonna surprise you. When I did that, the guy looked back at me again and said, "Oh, you trying to be funny? You think this is funny?" And I said to him, "No." I said, "God wanted me to bless you." And the man and his little boy looked back at me. I could tell that the son had no knowledge of what his father was doing. And the man took the gas and he took the groceries that we purchased, and he walks out of the grocery store. Walked out of the gas station. At that time, I kind of felt something come over me. My wife was sitting in the vehicle. I was so ready to come back and tell her what just happened. And as we walked outside, my wife is standing there looking like, "Hey, that's the guy right there. Why is he standing by a vehicle?" Because they usually don't interact with you that way.
Right.
And the guy looked at me and said, "I'm sorry." He looked at me with sincereness in his eyes that he was sorry for what he was doing. I know my wife was looking so surprised, like, what in the world's going on?
First time.
The first time. And I sat in that vehicle as he peeled off, and I pondered to myself, excuse me, you guys, I should have cut this phone off before I began this segment. And I sat in that vehicle saying, could this be the way to beat gang stalking? Now, I want to be honest with you. At that time, I was only concerned with stopping this stuff that was occurring to me my family.
That's right.
But you guys, on this journey of being going through the dark night of the soul and walking this spiritual awakening path, I want to tell you something. We were so happy. I mean, listen, we are so happy that the people who chose to come to earth to test us, which we call those just our testers. We look at gang stalkers were the best thing that ever happened to me and my wife.
We are thankful for them.
We are thankful for them. Matter of fact, before we begin this process, my wife just said, what did you say? She said, I hope that they come back.
I know. Hope they see this video and they come back.
Hope they see the video and come
back.
back.
Might go to the next level.
Because all they're doing,
level of consciousness.
Another level of consciousness, because all they're actually doing is giving you the opportunity to level up within yourself.
That's right.
You guys, we spent the last year and a half after that event, after that gas station in Midland, Georgia. We spent the rest of our year and a half before it all ended and they all said goodbye and kisses and hugs. We spent the entire process showing love to everyone outside of ourselves. We stopped focusing on ourselves.
Right.
And that began the death of our ego. You guys, I know that you want vengeance.
Yes.
I know you want people to believe you. But you have to understand, you are more than this world. Your purpose has a further reach than just right here and right now. You guys, if you are going through gang stalking as a portion of your dark night of the soul, that's because you are chosen. Now, Don't waste your time going on YouTube, looking up gang stalking, hearing all of the people tell you, oh, it's the end of the world, it's the whoa, whoa, whoa. Because I was one of those people looking on YouTube, praying to God that I could find someone who could tell me how to defeat.
That's right.
So you guys, today is your blessed day. And it's funny that it's coming to you right now before the 2020, because the 7 years of tribulation are gone. Wipe the tears from your eyes, eat a good meal, and stand up and say to yourself, if you're experiencing gang stalking, that every day that you live, you're going to live to raise the vibration of everything around you. And let me look you guys in your eyes, and you ladies in your eyes, and you boys or girls who are experiencing this, we know it's real.
Yes, it's real.
And we know that that is a hard road. But we are also here to tell you that once it's all over, you'll have 2020 vision. And you'll know that that would have been the best event that ever occurred in your reality.
That's right. That's right.
You have the opportunity to level up so much further than other people who had the basic, and I'm not trying to downplay others' dark night of the soul,
right.
but it actually gave us a level like we jumped up 20 years ahead.
Yeah.
That's why we get up every day and we sit here on this YouTube channel to express to other people who are going through this dark night of the soul and going through a particular dark night of the soul that the mass majority can't relate to. You guys, we promise you this. The power has been with you all along. There was nothing outside of you to defeat.
Nothing.
The enemy that you are fighting is within.
That's right.
You guys, again, like we said, this is just part one of our segment, Gang Stalking, the death to gang stalking.
And let me say one thing, because I want to make sure they got it clear. The thing to beat gang stalking is not lashing out, it's not getting angry, it's not feeling sad for yourself, it's not being scared. It's just to show love to everyone outside of you, including the people who are gang stalking you. Just show them love, and you won't believe it. How many people they can't stalk you? They're like, I'm sorry. They actually feel bad. It makes them feel bad. They're sorry for stalking you. Love is the answer to put a stop to it. Just show love to everyone. And it'll go away just from showing love. That's the easiest answer. You won't find that anywhere else on YouTube. Nobody will tell you that. But we are living proof that if you just show love to everyone, including the people who are stalking you, it'll go away.
Because remember, in the end,
we tried everything.
And I'm sorry, and we're sorry if we're rambling on this. It's not fluent that this was a trauma that we perceived as a trauma that we experienced for 3 years.
Yeah.
Listen, we experienced our own families telling us, hey, they're crazy.
That's right.
I know how you feel. But for the first time, you guys, I want you to smile. Say it with us right now. You ready? Let's go ahead and say it. The power has been with you
all along.
You've always had the power, you guys. I know how it feels, and I want to say I feel sorry for you, but actually, hey man, people should envy you. You are the chosen. You chose to walk this narrow road.
You chose to raise your vibration.
You chose to raise it.
And gang stalking is gonna help you.
Hey, listen, you guys. Like we always say, live,
love,
and laugh. And namaste, namaste, namaste. Hey. Gang stalkers. Gang stalkers.
Where you at?
Where you at? The power has been with us all along. Peace.
Peace, everybody.